Welcome back to class, dear students. In this lesson, we move to stage 5 of 7 steps required for you to connect and interact with any Solana program from your front end, like Nextjs or something of your DApp. Now, what we are doing on this stage is create components to interact with the Solana program object instance context. You understand? So remember, previously we created from this lesson, we created the program object instance context and provider, and we return it, exported it so that it can be useful. So now we need to create components to now access that program provider, Solana program, through that provider and the context. So how do we do that? We need to follow some steps depending on the type of Solana program you are dealing with and the programming language used, which it was written in, like Rust or all this. You may need to install additional packages into your project for specific program. For example, SPL token related Solana program may require installing packages like Metaplex for SPL token, metadata setup, SPL token, and others to work fine. So like what I'm explaining here is that depending on the Solana project you are working on, it may depend some extra packages you need to install into your project. So since for this course we are dealing with SPL token minter, so it's dealing with SPL token, then we need to install SPL token, Metaplex, and Anchor package to access the token minter program we already deployed on Solana. So we've deployed it in the earlier step here of 1 of the 7 steps. We are now on 5 of the 7 steps. So here you can install it if you don't have it already, but good, in the project repo that we are using for this course, we already have that. So if we go to the front end in the app and go to the packages on it, we'll see that we already have something like that. You see Metaplex dash foundations like JS. Then no, we have core already. Then the Solana SPL token. Good. So this, if you use the instruction, in case it's not there in your project, if you didn't use this repo, then you need to install it with this. Once you install it, we need to create a new component. We are calling it token minter, mint token button. You can call it anything, but just make sure you follow along, and whatever name you call it, change everywhere it needs to be changed. So inside the app components, when we come back here, remember till now I was just using the other sample I have for you, that this is where we are going, but this is where we are till now. If you refresh, there's still nothing, you are still plain page. So you are setting it up, but this is where you now begin to get to that stage. You know, we are in stage 5, so we are almost there to now have this thing getting displayed. So we want to create the component that will eventually be displayed. So inside there, we want to have a file that will be named this minter token button. So inside there, let's see, we'll have the code. What that does is, if you remember, when we were going through, let's see the lesson course again, when we are going through this deployment, we deploy, we build, we deploy, and we tested, and I showed you a script, Anchor JavaScript file then, that is so important for you to keep in mind, because it will guide you. If you are able to get it to work, then it will have helped you, give you an idea how you end up structuring the front end, because that is like the front end within the code area. So once it works, you are able to use it. So you can check back on the lesson to, if you miss that, to see what I'm saying. So from it, we are able to recreate something. So this really took me a lot of energy and time to put together, because sincerely I couldn't even find it anywhere online, because Solang, Solidity, and Solana is so new. So but with some dedication and time and effort and days, I was able to figure things out and replicate it for the front end. So that's what we are going to copy now. Maybe I can explain some things I did there for you. So this I wrote all these things like from ground up myself, just trying to follow what we have in the example. I see how it looks good. So when we check in, you see, that's what I'm saying. Like I will paste something and then it begin to double paste. I don't know. Just paste something once, paste it once, and then once I scroll, I have to at times quickly save it and go to another file before I come back. But most time, if I try to scroll instantly, I'll just discover that it has repasted 1 or 2 more times, causing, that's why you see it was loaded. It's not having even a single error, because I try my best to figure out a lot of things. So we are importing usage React. Normal, this Chakra UI, that's like in our CSS course, I taught you about a lot of different like library component, and also under React, Nextjs as well, libraries and frameworks. So Chakra UI is like that library. I think yes, library that can work with React and some other things like that to give a lot of styling and display like that. So we import this as usual, use wallet, use connection. Then over here, we are importing some things. So remember that we didn't import here. Here we just imported the public key, but here we need more than that, because this is where we really want to sign transaction. What we did here, the minter context, was just there to reconstruct a kind of the program, not the actual interaction with it. So if we want to interact with it, this is where we are actually interacting with it. And if you have followed the previous lessons, we have installed these packages. So that's why I close it. We are putting in the public key, the sys variant, because it's like you are creating an account. And on Solana, go on the 101. That's why I used to advise DPU students, when I take the pain to organize courses for you as from beginner, don't skip it, because many times a lot of things, this is one of those things that led me to creating the programming, because I also take a lot of courses out there, especially in Web3. They are super more like high level that you need to wrap your head around. Even some courses, you finish it confused, because it's more of like you should have understand a lot of things before you take it. But we try not to do that in the programming, but we cannot also teach you every beginner at every course. So that's why we created beginner courses first, then move to intermediate and things like that. So you can learn it in the 101, that's how Solana accounts work, that you need to pay for rent when you are creating an account. And when you are minting a token, you're essentially creating an account on Solana where your token will live, and then you need to pay rent for the data. So anything you put there is like data, when you pay for hosting and things like that. So then we have the keep here, account keep here used for signing transaction, then the transaction class for also. Once you import that, we import Metaplex. Remember, let me even try to pull this up. Inside program test, cool. So inside this as well, when you go through, they always almost look similar. You see it, we are importing anchor, you see sys variant, Metaplex, then get or create associated token. This one really tripped me off because I was trying to use this get created associated token, but didn't really give me the result. It was giving a lot of issue. So I was able to figure out I can substitute it with other things. Now, when you look at this, it's almost similar that you are able to create KPI and some other things, and then you are able to mint, but it's not direct like that. You can't just copy paste. There are some things you may be able to copy paste from here, but not all. So it gave a lot of headache. So you will see that I was able to use get associated token and create associated token account instruction instead of this get, because out of all these three, this is the only one that was used. So get or create associated token account from SPL token. Remember, we are dealing with SPL token. So that's the program that handle token on Solana, including even NFT and those things. So then remember our minter contest that we already said we exported this use minter program, export const use minter program. So hook to use the minter contest. So for us to access the contest, you see it now. It now gives us access to everything we need here. So we need to import that as well from our contest provider, and as usual we need like this big number to help do some conversion, which you see. Now after that, I as well went on. We now have the function, which the main function, you only have a single each function here, which is, you can see this thing has reposted again. Like, oh, I need to clear it again and then repost. Like, or maybe I mistakenly typed something there. You see, that as I'm scrolling, sorry, like 160 page became 340. So this used to be so frustrating. Maybe tell me in comment, like, what's the issue? Let me post, save. I have to quickly open another one page, then go back. If not, it will keep duplicating. So let's quickly go back. That's how you see this each function here is the mint token button, which is what you will have here. Good, I have something to show you before you actually turn your plain page over. Your page is still plain now. So, but this is what we are talking about. So, is this component that control this whole thing that we are building, and this button is where everything goes. So, these are just like ordinary form when you fill, but once you click the mint token, that's where the chain of reaction gets triggered, and every account that need to be created, and these things are in order. If you need to create the mint, which is like the account for the token, before you can even mint, you need to create an associated account for your own account where the token can be sent to, attached to your own wallet. So all this may be confusing. If you go to the 101, you will learn a lot about them. So if you create the mint and then try to mint into the mint account without creating your associated token account, it won't work. So that's why everything has to be in order. That's why you see them, and I tried at my best to put a lot of console log for you as a developer to know what is going on per time. So this is what we are trying to build now, and you will notice in here it's the major one. So we need to assign all these things we import, then dynamically populated via the form. So this is the form down here. You see the form. Once it takes it, it needs to fix into these variables. You see them, we assign them, then we can now use it. So the major part of this code is this on mint. On mint, you see that is triggered when this mint button is clicked. So once it's clicked, then the chain of reaction is activated. it first check, is there a public key or a mint program? That means it check, do you have the public key, which is this. That's why this works. Immediately I click it, you see it triggers something, there may be error, but if I disconnect, nothing even triggers, because it says if there is no public key, when you have this, no public key, which remember your public key is like the wallet, then and or also there's no this and this, I think this and sign, skip, mix things up, and then the meter program context. Remember, this cannot talk directly, even if wallet is connected. It need to use the meter program context to understand the project, the Solana program structure, and then access is instant because it has been initiated. So if the two are not there, there's no need trying to meet. It's a waste of time. So that's why that's also console log, that all these things are ready as well. We should be sure that the name, the symbol, the URI, the decimal and amount are available inside this function. That's why I try to console log, and if you check here, you will see it. That when you try to connect, select, when you connect with this wallet, you check, and then when this passes, once you click this button, these are first set of things you will see. It will tell you, okay, this. So all these are just there in your normal project. When it's out, you may not have it. But all this, I'm conscious that I'm dealing with developers that will now go out to build. I need to, when building some code, include as much ease of troubleshooting as possible. Like I told you, I had to create this code myself with conjunction with AI tools, which I always encourage you on the Programming University. Don't code at this age without an AI tool as your peer programmer. You are only wasting your precious time. So with that, then generate a new key pair for the data account for the program. So when we are generating a new key pair, that's like when you talk about a new key pair, is like this now, and a whole account with its private key, but the private key are not open up for you anyway. So you see it now, so that this can, for the data account. So this is like handled majorly. It's not like your normal wallet. This is handled by like your token program deployed already, not your own that's already deployed on Solana. So it will be the one to manage all these accounts. So when it's being created, you don't actually need to have access to the private key. You understand? So you just generate because your own wallet will be assigned as authority on it, which you still see later. And once you do that, you can do a lot of things from the account. So you see another console log here, data account key pair. So it tells you, and there's something I also did with this thing. It's like, instead of it just showing the transaction ID back for you, I try my best to put them and wrap them into Solana Explorer and SoScan. So anyone that you feel, and you can use the tool to compare how detailed they are. So by outputting this, you won't need to be copying and then be going to Solana Explorer and all those things. So that's why if you look at here and we start, let's mint, you see mint token, you see that each level is giving out output. This is it, mint account key pair. You see data account key pair. I can click here now and then just open it straight and see what the transaction is. I can approve this. Then you can see it now. Go straight to tell me what the account is about. The same for the keep here. This one is the form. This is a minting token. Maybe you change it to mint token details. Mint token details or something like that. So then data account, mint account, metadata for the token. You can see the metadata for the token as well, which is here. You remember you create the metadata for it through this file. So then I try to wrap this in a chart because it deals with a lot of creating account. So I need to be sure that that account is being created. So you see data account initiated successfully. Stage 1, I divided it into stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. So the first stage, you need to initialize the account, which is required in Solang. So let's approve it. And you see that each time, if it works correctly, it will output data account initiated successfully. Then data address, metadata address, you see it. Then create the token mint. The token mint is like the token itself, but it's wrapped in an account. So please go through the one if that confuses you. So this fails, I think, because I took a lot more time. So if I sign out again and connect, but I want us to use this. So that already give you an idea. Once we build this, we'll test it together. So it's output all those things for you as well. It creates the token mint. Then you are able to know once it's created and check the wallet and transaction. Then the last stage, once you have all the accounts created, remember this program has two main functions. Inside the program, inside our Solidity, remember we just got these two functions, create mint and the mint too. So those are the major functions. Every other thing is inside, because when you are creating the mint, a lot of things need to be created. Solana deals with a lot of level of accounts, I'm telling you. So it could be confusing, but as you get close, I myself am also getting to understand them day by day as well. It could be confusing initially, but all those accounts, that's why you see the pop-up coming like 4 times. Because you can imagine inside here, you have the create mint, then you have create mint itself, then create metadata account. You get all those things. Yeah, that's why when we first connect, when we initiate the account, then we create mint, then we create metadata account. That's the second pop-up. Then for this also to work, we need to create associated token account to that wallet. You know, we have created the mint now. We now want to mint to that wallet. So for example, if I mint this now and I want to send it to you, I need to make sure you first create that associated account in the process of minting. That's why it's part of the minting process. So it will check, do you already have an associated account? Because those associated account is what makes it attached to this token account. Just like when you look at Ethereum and you deploy inside the Ethereum, you track the token yourself. Ethereum smart contract, just the single smart contract. You have where you track the token that is minted, the amount of token minted, everything. So, but on Solana, there's nothing like that because the account is splitted into 2, which has like a data account and a program account that deals with like all the code of the program, the smart contract, and one with the data of the account. So those are the issues there. If you now have the token, for me to send to you, you need to create an account. that will be connected to this mint account, this token I created, which will make it possible for me to know how many tokens you are holding, which is used to track how many token is in circulation. What's the total token? What about if we say we only want to mint maximum token? Those are what we will use to know that, okay, this has reached maximum token, this is the number of holders of account. You get all those things. So if I want to send it to another student, second student, third student, each of them have an account. So it's not that it's coming directly just to your wallet. No, there's an account for every token you hold on Solana attached. That's why they said associated token account. So associated to your wallet, but it's specific to that token account that you want to use. It's a bit complicated. Please check the 101. So now, that's why you see a lot of pop-up coming. I think I've tried to explain and break it down for you so you don't get confused. So that's why, and you need to set signer, because we are doing a lot of creating, and you see, we try to call method on this account. You see it with the create minter. This is the function. Remember the create mint function that we have here. Yeah, that's create mint. Yeah. So we are calling it back here. Then these are things we need to pass, like payer, metadata, mint authority, and things like that. You remember the rent we need to pay, because this thing is creating an account. So it will take some and put it in that account to pay for the rent. You understand? Though I think most time now you don't pay, but you need to have that minimum rent exempt or something like that. So all these are actually not needed again. That's why I commented it out. Then you will know when that is created, because you will get the token mint created. Why all these consoles are essential? Because while I was building it as well, a lot of issues. So I figured out, okay, let me have all these things to track. And I was able to figure, okay, this has worked to this level. It remains this level to work. Especially this minting was so tricky, because I was trying to just mint directly and check this, like we'll use here. You see, get or create ourselves, but it wasn't working. So I had to first troubleshoot and now get that, okay, I need to create associated wallet token. So that already does that, because it's in test environment for Anchor environment and not Nextjs front end. So you see it now. So instead of that, I need to get associated token. And if it is not available, that's why I console log it. If it's not available, I need to create it with this create at instruction, create associated token account instruction that was imported here. You can see the two. So this alone, if the associated token account exists for that same token, let's say that person wants have that token, so they already have even if they now have a 0, that associated token account is there with them. You understand? So assuming they don't have it, or they have just one, or I want to mint more or something, then it doesn't. But if they don't, then, and so it's better I also have this, so that in case they don't, because if they don't, then the minting will fail to them. So if they do, it will work. So that's why we have those two that you see here. Awaiting, then, sorry, you try to say if it doesn't exist, then create it for them, and then we'll construct the transaction, because we couldn't access it directly, because the Web3.js doesn't expose the private key of this wallet when you connect. So anything that has to do that require the wallet key, like transaction signing, you need to push it. The user need to see that you want to sign with my key. I won't expose my key through my wallet, but I can sign through my wallet that cover the key, the private key. So that's why it's not possible for you to go and sign the transaction on my behalf just because I connected my wallet without giving access. So that's why we have to go through all this process. The send to transaction, that's why you'll be seeing those multiple pop-up each time. The user need to create it. That's the third pop-up you will see. And then the fourth one, once you have that associated token account, the fourth one is to like, you want to mint. So sending the transaction to mint a new token, which will now be charged also in it. So we'll do it together and see once we display. That's the major thing we do here. I've tried my best to break this down for you, and you can see how we use and set all these things as well with the form. So that's what built up this. And we go to the sixth part where we'll now talk about, if you have any question, ask specific to this lesson. Don't go to any other lesson, it won't be answered. Specific lesson, you can join the Discord to connect with and network with other Web3 developers and get updates from official. But if it is question on each course, please Discord, YouTube, Twitter, or anywhere, Solarplex or wherever you see me is not where you ask. If you ask, I won't answer you because it's a waste of my time and energy, and also yours, because other students will keep asking the same thing. But if you ask here, other students will benefit from it over time. So that's it for this lesson. I believe, yeah, I've said you should watch and I've explained it in this video. You now have an idea how I came across, and if you also want to create your own based on a specific Solang Solidity program you are building, so you have an idea of some of these things that you might require. That's why the test first in the anchor matters a lot to point you to some things that you need. But notwithstanding, there may be some things that work in the anchor environment, the development environment, that doesn't work in the actual real world front-end project environment. So you need to understand that, like all these ones that was introduced. Yeah, what else? Nothing else here. I'll see in the next lesson where we wrap all this front end. You see that even with all this that we've done in this, now that we got this, if I still go to the home page, I'm still just using the other example. This is the actual one we are running. It's on 301. If you check here, you see that's running on port 3001. 301 or 3001. So you see it. So that's what is just a plain something now. How do we now display? We built everything now just for us to display it. So that's be our step 6 and 7 finally. That's it. I remain Solomon Foske of the Programming University. Keep the program spirit and alive. Your chance to succeed long term as a developer. And please always do good to humanity with any knowledge you have, including your Web3 development programming knowledge, and not evil to humanity, to nature, to make the world a better place for us all. See you. Peace and bye till next lesson.